Today we're going to discuss and cook liver. I will show you the simplest recipe that I love. It's very tasty, at least to my taste, to my preference. And I also would like to bring up such subject as why I choose chicken liver over beef liver. And also I would like to discuss such a relatively controversial topic as organ meat supplements. For this recipe that I'm going to show you, we will need chicken liver. That's 1 pound chicken livers that I rinsed, and also we will need onion, as much onion as possible. Here I have already started chopping onion. I have 3 small to medium white onions. Onion here is the main ingredient. Other than that, other than those 2 components, I'm not going to use anything, even no salt. And this is where I would like to open our first discussion. Why I'm choosing chicken liver over beef liver. When you think about beef liver, it's taste-wise, it's much less flavorful, much more rough. So it's kind of less pleasant food to eat when it's cooked. And the thing is that I love specifically the liver flavor, which beef liver has much less of compared to chicken liver. Instead, beef liver, I would characterize it as some dilute, watered down taste of steak with some note, some hint of liver. That's not something I'm keen on. Chicken liver in my opinion, does not even require salt. To such extent flavorful and rich it is. And then another thing is that since I love liver, I eat a lot of it. And if we look at the vitamin composition, beef liver contains 10 times more vitamin A than chicken liver. Moreover, when we think about the animal-based diet, chicken liver contains far more folate and iron than beef liver, which is counterintuitive. I was really shocked when I learned about it. So these are the main reasons why I am choosing chicken liver over beef liver. Taste and vitamins. To prepare this, we need, again, just onion and liver. Liver is simply rinsed, nothing special, no special prep that I'm do. Some people who don't like the flavor of liver, they prefer to soak livers in milk. I'm not doing any of that. I want maximum flavor. Also, you can kind of like remove all the stringy stuff. I usually just remove it when I eat it, so I'm pretty sloppy within that regard. So we need to put onion to a very well heated pan right now. We can use just a tiny little bit of oil here just to avoid excessive sticking, but not much. We don't need any oils, any fats essentially. You can use butter as well. Butter may be a good option if you like the flavor. I don't like butter, never did. So I kind of only very selectively consume butter. I prefer tallow or just prepare food without any fats altogether. Here it's olive oil because we need to cook the onions pretty well and they love to stick. I'm like that mom from those meme videos, how like people are scared to interact with with the pans, and I'm just like literally just stirring things with my bare hand. I'm not going to like fry, caramelize onions or anything like that. I'm literally going to cook them just enough to get them a little bit soft, such that it's easier to mix them with the liver, because you know when the onions are stiff, they like just fly around and you can catapult your meat if you start stirring it too aggressively. So I'm just going to wait for them to get a little bit mushy, and then I will start loading the liver. Here again, the key to this recipe, be generous with onion because it literally makes this recipe. And another thing, if you want to use this mixture later for making a pate, for example, then you can also add carrots. Carrots will bring that necessary flavor. And then also in the end, you can add butter, just blend it up and consume it as a spread. This is the base for literally everything that you can make out of liver. Another variety of this recipe is to add sour cream. Some people add flour, sour cream, and make all of this fanciness. Onion started releasing very cool flavors, so a very good scent, so I'm gonna stir it. And we'll start adding liver. I'm turning down the heat a little bit. So now I'm going to stir it. And if you wish to add any spices, then it can be done now. If you want to add sour cream, then it's better to add towards the end, because sour cream at certain temperature splits into fractions, so you will have a bunch of coagulated milk. Then with butter, same story. Better to prevent it from burning and add it in the end for flavor if you want. Or again, like first initial batch, maybe you will use ghee for sauteing onion if you like the flavor. Then yeah. So I think I need to increase the heat. So why I am against using organ meat supplements. And please don't treat my words as like some advice, some recommendation. I would just like to make you think about several important aspects. First of all, I was delaying this recipe video for one reason. I was not craving liver. I literally have moments when I terribly crave it. And this is when I prepare it. Usually it's like every 2 weeks, or maybe less frequently, sometimes more frequently. But I was not craving it. And because of that, I was not making it. I didn't want to waste the product. I didn't just want make a piece of content and then just waste product, eat it through, or like push myself to eat it. I didn't want to do that. And when we think about organ meat supplements, there is no natural mechanism in the body to tell you that you should stop consuming them. Because, like, here's my, like, first aid drawer. I have some Tylenol here, right? So let's look at the pill. Like, this is pill, right? So do you feel anything towards it? Like, does it trigger your appetite? Like, would you eat it or not? I mean, you don't relate to the pills as to something edible. And when you are consuming organ meats, very concentrated form of nutrition, you are not having any means of controlling the impulse to consume them. And this is why, given that there is a potential vitamin A toxicity in particular, I think that organ meat supplements are not the best idea when you have access to normal organ meats. It's not candy. No supplement on the planet Earth is a candy. And I would discourage anyone from taking supplements in general without proper medical supervision and without confirmed diagnosis that supports the idea that you have to consume those supplements. And again, the duration of supplementation, efficacy of supplementation, they must be assessed by a doctor, or if you are very savvy in reading your blood work, in reading the symptoms, then okay. But in general, it's not a joke. This is one of the areas where I'm super against veganism, because veganism relies on multiple supplemental isolated nutrients. Never a good idea. And when it comes to organ meats, yes, there is a hazard that you may accidentally overdose, because it's not food. Your body cannot say that I'm full, stop eating, or no, stop eating this food group for some time, I need a break, I oversaturated with certain nutrients, or give me this food urgently, like now. No, you don't have this mechanism with pills. Then another thing regarding organ meat supplements is that organ meat supplements are powderized. And whenever I think about anything dehydrated, broken down into powders, ever since I was raw vegan, I was very weary. Basically, when I was raw vegan, I noticed that some foods, after you put them through the dehydrator, they turn into completely different food, and sometimes they tasted absolutely atrociously. For example, carrot, if you dehydrate a whole carrot, it tastes good. If you grate the carrot and then dehydrate it, it tastes very bad. And this is what I noticed. And it dawned on me that a lot of the vitamins, a lot of the nutrients, they oxidize. And not only you can deactivate certain nutrients, like some antioxidant vitamins, for example, like beta-carotene, vitamin E, or vitamin C, they get deactivated. Moreover, some of the vitamins, some of the nutrients can become potentially harmful. And what I learned is that vitamin A, preformed vitamin A, may get potentially harmful if it's oxidized. Same with B12. So when you take organs, when you mill them into powders, they sit in the air, in the ambience, for however much time, and then you consume them, they are going to be oxidized. So what are you getting? The composition of those supplements, the nutritional composition of the supplements, will be likely assessed based on the weight of the raw product. So they will likely they will have like that label, nutrition label, that will be showing you information of the vitamin content of the raw product. But when you oxidize them, when you break them down, expose them to light, for example, B12 is is light sensitive, and also ascorbic acid can also aid in degradation of B12. So yeah, when you expose them to different environmental factors, your nutrition is gone and becomes potentially harmful. So what I found on vitamin A, I took a screenshot. I found that oxidized vitamin A can turn pro-inflammatory and also can cause some degree of immunity suppression. So that is not something desirable, but this is literally just the tip of the iceberg, because I think if you start digging into the subject deeper, you'll realize how many more negative things, negative changes happen to when we subject our product, when we break down the cell and expose its juices and the contents to the air. Many things happen. I think we can find a lot of the curious things, a lot of the curious insights if we dig deeper into that, knowing the composition of those supplements. When we deal in comparison, when we cook food, we're also destroying and augmenting some nutrients. But when we're cooking food, the inside of the meat, it's not beans. We don't need to nuke the meat in order for it to be safe and edible. So when we cook meat, we bring it to the temperature of protein coagulation pretty much, and that's where it's edible. And here, by the way, we need to cook our liver until it no longer bleeds, but the center remains pink. So that's the proper degree of preparedness, because if we keep cooking it further, it may become very stiff and chewy and unpleasant. So that's the rule of thumb. You just slice one big piece and see how it looks on the inside. If something oozes out of it, then it's not ready. When it's pink inside, then it's perfect readiness. You can also use thermometer and just cook it to safe temperature. Then another reason why I would be rather against consuming supplements is because back when I was raw vegan, I was looking into, like in the very beginning of it, I was looking into these supplements and where they're sourced. Turns out that there is a huge online marketplace of white label supplements and health foods. Pretty much everything that you find in the health aisle of the grocery store is likely sourced from that place. And also, if you watch some bloggers, you know how a lot of bloggers, they sell their supplements, some unique powders and such. You can find literally anything in that marketplace, and it's like literally one-stop shop. You can go there and you will find healthy bars, gummies, gummy bears with some vitamins, infusions and such, and then liquid formulas, some powders, pills, everything. Only if you have any like media representation, you can start your own supplement brand, buy whatever you vibe with, and just slap your logo and sell it if you have a marketing platform. That's what happens with most supplements. That's what I assume, because I don't think that anyone wanders around the planet Earth trying to harvest all of those exotic herbs and tries to go and negotiate something with the chemistry labs to produce something that they already produce for that white label stock platform. So all supplements, they come pretty much from the same pot, from the same kitchen. And when it comes to organ meat supplements, I don't know how to trace the purity, how to trace the quality of those supplements, because when it's powder, anything can sneak into the powder. Supplements are not food. Supplements are not drugs. So they're in between two kind of institutions, and they're kind of that outlaw gray area of products. It's something to be very cautious with. At this point, my liver is well done, and I think we can turn it off. This is how it looks on the cut. You see it's slightly pink, but nothing is bleeding, nothing is red. I don't understand the point of eating raw liver necessarily. I'm very content with cooked. So I saw a reel of a girl who was describing what her Victoria's Secret model mom was eating in preparation for the shows. And she said that the agents were sending models liver because liver is low-calorie food, and at the same time it's a very nutrient-dense food. Moreover, it contains all nutrients that are necessary for radiant appearance. So it keeps you slim, but very well nourished. And this is what the models ate back in the day. There was like no green smoothie culture back then. By the way, I watched a lot of model content in the back in the day, and I noticed that all models ate the same thing for breakfast. It was oats with eggs. Or egg whites, something like that. So I guess they have some recommendations for regulating the insulin spikes. But yeah, even with oats, they were doing that. Even though oats are that high fiber, whole food. I actually never liked oats, you know. I ate them my entire childhood for breakfast, and I despised them because I would be hungry in 30 minutes, so my entire day at school, I was insanely hungry. Like insanely hungry. I couldn't wait till lunch usually, because that oatmeal was nothing. Now that I eat eggs and bacon for breakfast, eggs, bacon, and yogurt, it's perfect. I don't think about food for multiple hours on end. It's such a sense of freedom. You're not stuffed from food. It's very lightweight. Somehow it feels very light and you're just satiated. You literally forget about that food exists. Let's serve. This probably makes half a pound of raw liver, but I'm going to split it with my dog because he goes crazy for cooked liver. For whatever reason, my dog that eats raw meat oftentimes refuses raw meat in favor of the same meat but cooked, and the same happens with liver as well. Like if I offer him raw liver, he's just like, who are you? Leave me alone. I don't know you. You're offending me. And should I just sear it a little bit on both sides for him, like for 30 seconds? It's like, oh my god, give me more of this. So he loves cooked meat for some reason way more than he appreciates raw meat. But it really depends also. When I give him pieces of some more expensive, probably varieties of meat, he eats them raw with a lot of pleasure. But some cuts, nope. He's just like, nope, thanks. Let's indulge. So I am going to cut a piece here. Also, eat it with onion. I don't know, like usually since childhood, I was setting all onion aside in all dishes, but this one. Some super synergy happens between liver and onion. It's so tasty. This liver is sold at Whole Foods. It's a rather inexpensive food. The whole pound costs, I think, $5. So it's pretty good. Maybe a little bit of salt would be beneficial taste-wise. But if I was to describe a taste of liver to a person who never tried it, what would I do? First of all, there is a definitely irony note, bloody note. So you should imagine, like when you cut yourself, you lick the blood. That will be some taste note, some flavor note. But then, besides this irony thing, there will be, of course, some sweet note as well, especially it's emphasized by the onion. And then there will be a note that is not poultry, it's just meat. So that savory, typical meaty umami flavor. Definitely not the flavor of chicken breast or anything like that. It doesn't have any flavor, but more red meat probably. As much onion as I put there, I would put more, actually. Onion would make it less dry. This one turned out to be a little bit too dry. So onion is the one that keeps it on a moister side. Don't try to moderate onion in this recipe. They are ultimately synergistic, and salt may be desired, yeah, after all. I can see sour cream working in it very, very well. That's maybe something I will try next time I make it, because it will add juiciness as well. Oh my god, another thing we make in Russia. We make crepe. We roll diced liver with onion and carrots inside of them. It's so delicious, it's just insane. That's something I was eating my entire childhood. It was incredibly tasty. Of course, I'm not qualified to talk about how to start liking liver if you don't like it, if you never tried it, because I was introduced to this food since early childhood, pretty much. And my mom was frequently making it. She would serve it either with mashed potatoes or with rice, and she would make it with sour cream sauce. But one tip, do not overthink it. Because many people are like, ooh, it's organ meats. Organ meats are no different than any other meat. There is like nothing to be peculiar about. Pick organic such that you know that there's no residual medicine in that liver or anything like that. So buy high quality food and just do it. Think about what goodness you are consuming. Another mechanism is that happens usually is when you introduce yourself to some potent foods, you eventually build taste for them because the body learns that there is a relationship between this food and certain nutrients that you're getting from them. So if you've never eaten liver, start small. Perhaps turn it into pate, so blend it, add the baked carrots, a little bit of butter. Make pate and eat it maybe with rye toast or something like that, or sourdough toast. Something delectable. You can also buy pate from the store. It's a rather expensive food. They are sold in small crates, cost like $10 or more per little package, but they contain livers. And you can also get them through those means, but they will have other additives as well, such as they will have some pork fat, they will have some other ingredients, spices, whatever. But you can also introduce liver as a special gourmet thing as well. Not necessarily that you will be just indulging in it in the most simple and explicit form as I do. Thank you for watching. Bye.